Hey guys, it's Akiba and Big Dave back for another episode of Gathering of the Gigahash. How you doing, guys? Today we have Hawk Crypto with us. Hawk, how you doing, my friend?
What's up, man? Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. How you guys doing? What's up, Dave?
Yeah, no
Just
problem.
getting over being sick as a dog for the last like 3 weeks. So that's fun.
I
Yeah,
hear
that's
you,
never
man.
fun.
I hear
I
you.
think I had that just before as well.
A
Um,
17-day 100+ fever. Oh, it was
Rough.
rough. Yeah, rough, dude.
That's
Exhausting.
rough, dude. Definitely
Yeah.
rough.
so we're going to get straight to the first question that we're asking everyone in this series, which is crypto mining dead?
No, my opinion, no. Obviously, that's not financial advice for everybody, right? Because we do make money mining. In my opinion, I don't think it's dead at all. It comes in waves. You know what I mean? New projects will emerge. And although I wasn't mining prior to the last back in 2017, 2018, when, but from what I hear from a lot of people that I work with, was Ethereum just came out of nowhere, right? And then mining was like, oh my God, the big deal for a couple of years. So I don't think mining's dead. I think it's going to come back. It's just going to take a little bit of time. The market, the economy is not helping. So that's just my opinion.
So what are you currently mining then?
So right now, I have a test bench. As you guys know, I run a hosting facility and a data center. So I have on my test bench. I'm mining Flux on a few GPUs. My entire farm is actually off at the moment because I'm working on getting my clients and infrastructure in place on first, and then I'll put my farm on. But I have a pretty big farm. I mean, my Ethereum farm was almost 8 gigahash. So it's it's pretty big. I've sold some stuff and consolidated because I really just want to stay right around the 3070, 6700 XT. That's all I want for cards at the moment.
Mhm.
Have
Uh,
you gotten into any ASICs?
yeah, definitely. So I had an L7 and I had two S19s. I actually sold them to help fund the new project. I made money on them from what I mined and what I sold them. I sold them at a good time. But right now, the only ASIC I do have is a V1 Mini Wi-Fi iPolo that's doing it's doing ETC. I just have it running because it uses like virtually like no power. So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely into ASICs. I have a lot of clients that have ASICs. I have a client that just sent me a brand new M30S Plus, the Bitcoin miner, and that's running at our facility right now. And we have 800 amps of power being installed next week. So it's just a lot of stuff to organize. And I love ASICs, man. ASICs is awesome.
Mhm. So, talk to me a little bit about why you're mining Flux, because I think every single guest we've had on so far is mining Flux in some part.
Right. So here's the thing, man. I think Flux right now, as far as scalability and what they're doing with their business, is going to be, as far as use case is concerned. I don't think anybody's really beating Flux. Now I know there's a few competitors out there to Flux, but man, listen, I think Flux is going to be an amazing project. As you guys saw, it pumped the other day, which was pretty cool. I think it went over a dollar. I think $1.08, right, Dave? Was it
Yeah,
$1.08? I think.
yeah. I think it actually hit $1.10. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that like Red Fox hit me up. He's like, dude, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Man, I'm turning on rigs. I'm turning them on.
Yeah, no,
It's like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so I like Flux for that. I also like Ergo. Ergo is another project that I like. I was mining Ergo. I have a lot of clients solo mining Ergo right now, and so yeah, I like Flux as far as their scalability and what they're doing and the services that they offer. And I mean, they're a direct competition to like AWS and cloud infrastructure, and they're a fraction of the price, and they're
Mhm.
decentralized, which means their redundancy is off the charts. Maybe
Mhm.
even better than some of the biggest data centers. So
Feel
and I've had a chance to talk. Sorry, Dave. I've had a chance to talk to the Flux team. My company, Terra Hosting, we are Flux Labs partners. So, and we have an NDA, so we can't say much with them. But the stuff that I've seen is even giving me more confidence in what they're doing. So, uh, yeah, I'm excited for Flux, man. I'm a Flux fan. I'm a Flux fan all the way through and through. Like I'm a fanboy, bro. I got the flags. I got the shirts. I got everything, bro. I love Flux.
Flux has an extremely useful use case scenario. Like
Yes.
the fact that you can host nodes for other cryptocurrencies on the Flux network
Right.
is something that a lot of people don't know about. Like they don't see. So one thing I found just from like our initial aspects of crypto mining from like the GPU side, and you know what I mean. is nobody really knows or understands like a lot of the use cases. A lot of people on that side seem to be primarily like financially based. Like that's what they're after. They're after the financial gains versus supporting a project.
Mhm.
Um, since being in cryptocurrency, like initially when I started in like 2011, 2012, I've like been in and out a few times, obviously.
Right, right.
And it's like made me develop an appreciation for like the back end and like the use cases of projects. And I still think that a lot of GPU miners don't understand what they're supporting when they mine a project. And
Right.
then once they do, once you understand what you're supporting when you start mining Flux, it makes you want to mine more Flux.
I completely agree with that, but I think there's another level to it because that style of thinking, I think, is something that people have been able to get their head around. That okay, yeah, there needs to be a use case, but what a lot of people are still missing is just because there's a use case doesn't mean that it's going to get product market fit. Like
Right.
just
Of
because you
course.
can use it
Right.
for something doesn't mean that anyone actually wants to use it for that. And that's the
Absolutely right.
area that you need to look at. You see all these NFT projects over the last sort of 18 months saying like, oh, we have utility. Like, great, you can use
Yeah.
it, but no one wants to use it. So it might as well just be a
Well,
PFP.
I have a couple of friends like mainstream comedians that are actually doing their ticket stubs through
Mhm.
NFTs. So like to go to their shows, you have to have like a MetaMask crypto wallet on your phone, and then you get the NFT to actually enter their show. And then
Right.
what that does is once you enter the show, then the NFT morphs into like a picture that's individualized for each NFT project. So
Right.
like it has like a mechanism. I'm not exactly sure how the hell it works, but
So
like in that use
NFTs.
case, I think that's kind of dope.
So NFTs are, we haven't even scratched the surface with NFTs. They're more than pictures of dogs and chickens and
Yeah, apes.
what's the other one? Yeah, Bored Ape
Apes.
Yacht Club, I think. And like it's way more than that. NFTs, I mean, they're going to revolutionize the way we do a lot of things once it gets implemented. I mean, medical records, your your house, the stuff for your house, like your deed for your home. Sorry, your registrations for your car, your social
Mhm.
security numbers, and all that stuff. That can NFTs can securely store that information.
And
Um,
consolidate it attached to one
right.
individual.
And if we incorporate NFTs into stuff like that, I mean, we can virtually remove identity theft overnight, because then how you going to steal someone's stuff if it's locked and it's got it, you know what I mean, like a keys, like not your keys, not your crypto, not your
Mhm.
keys, not your NFT. It's got the, so it's way more than what they make it to be. And it kind of sucks that it started that way, because now everybody's like, oh, NFTs are just pictures of stupid things. It's really not. NFTs are going to be huge, man. They just have to be implemented that way.
I
Well,
mean,
and
I know
like
we're kind of
a bunch
drifting
of
a little bit away
projects
from drifting a
kind of
little
like,
bit away from.
sorry, go ahead.
Go on now.
Yeah, no, for
No, I was just going to say, just to close it off, I remember it was what, the 18th of January. IPWE and Casper Labs did a big announcement that they're putting 25 million different patents or patents into NFTs on the Casper Labs blockchain.
Oh
And
yeah.
again, that's exactly what you're talking about. Like, and I
Yep.
think like patents are one of the prime examples of something that should be on a blockchain, because then you can secure it around the world. You know who's got the patent for what. You can trade them and sell them easily. And we know that everyone in the world has got the same database and same data set that they're working on. Sorry, Dave, you were going to
oh no, I'm good. You're good. You
say.
covered it.
Cool.
So, like coming back to the mining, then obviously, as having a sort of a data center and having clients with it, how are you feeling the kind of the stress from the well, the bear market that we are either in or have just come out of, whoever, depending on how you want to look at it. So, like hardware costs now versus then. Obviously, there's energy crisis, so energy costs are up. How is
Right.
all that affecting you?
So energy prices are always going to increase, right? They're never going to go down. It's very, very rare did they say, hey, energy prices are low, we're going to lower your bill 20%. It just doesn't happen, right? Energy prices are only going to go up. As far as equipment prices going, we got some really good prices on stuff. We have really good prices on ASICs and hardware, because for our place, the way that we combat this for our clients, right, is we don't take a commission on any sales. I pass my commission on to my clients. So when prices go up, there's commissions with those things. We pass those things forward. With energy prices, you know, we're in the great state of Florida, where I'm at in the United States, there's not very high energy prices here. It's actually some of the lowest in the country are here. Our commercial rate is right around 9-10 cents, which is not terrible. So I'm allowed to offer fair pricing. Now, the more energy we use, will obviously it'll come down. But I mean, I'm seeing equipment prices now. With Bitcoin be staying steady where it's at. I mean, a cost of an ASIC is already up 15-20%. It kind of follows the market, and
Mm.
we're still getting pretty good pricing on it. Like I think we got a 104 terahash S19 now. I can get for like $2,200, $2,100, which is not terrible considering where the market is
And
trending.
the stipulation for your clients when you pass that forward is that they have to host with you for a year, correct?
1 year. Yeah, that's the stipulation. So we don't make any money on the sale, but you have to host
with
for
your
1 year.
services.
Yeah, 1 year, just 1 year. And then if you want it after a year, you say, "Oh man, I just want my equipment." No problem. We'll ship it right to you. No problem. And there you go. That's obviously we're a business that's the stipulation with it.
Now,
It has to be that way.
does your pricing structure change for your hosting? Like, do you do like a percent base off of the coins mined, or do you charge a fee for like the power and the maintenance, or
Right.
do
So yeah, no, perfect. Great question. So what happens is what we do is we just charge you the electric. So I take $100 deposit per rig, right? So if you're sending me 10 ASICs, $1,000, right? Now, if you send me orders of more than 10, okay, I lower your kilowatt hour rate down. I give you a discount on it because it's a larger order. You know what I mean? And we do it that way. There's a lot of these hosting companies, they want money up front. They want to say I was inquiring with hosting a long time ago. And before I started my own facility at Hawk, before I got absorbed by Terra, and they want all the electric up front. And I'm like, you want me to give you $35,000 in electric up front?
well,
Like,
yeah, but like you
that's
look
not
at all
gonna
the Bitcoin mining operations that have had to now shut down or consolidate and sell their customers rigs because their customers aren't paying the bills when it comes time to pay the bills, right? Like they're still
why.
getting all of the coins mined to their wallets. The company's still putting the money into the electric, but
Right.
then when people aren't paying, then it like kind of screws the company in the long run. Like there's a
Oh, yeah.
couple of Canadian companies that I know of out in Alberta that had to shut down and sell a bunch of ASICs.
Yeah, there's a lot of these companies, through our research and found out a lot of these companies grew way too fast.
Mhm.
They grew way too fast. They over leveraged. They grew way too fast. They borrowed tons of money. Well, here's the beautiful thing. We're starting small. I actually got the proof of concept at my facility, right? We adopted that into terrahosting.io, by the way, and 2 R's. And we took that, okay?
Shameless fucking hawk plug.
We took that model and we're there's I don't know if you've been following the streams, Dave, and you see like
Yeah,
New England crypto, everybody says hashtag
yeah,
grow
of
with
course.
Terra. Like as we grow, we lower the price for our customers when it comes down. So we're scaling as we go. We're not going to go ahead and get, $5 million investment and dump all this money in and not figure out how to do it. We're kind of doing it as we go. And that's where a lot of these hosting companies they failed because they said, oh, we can get all these clients, we can get all this other stuff, and we'll take loans out for 20-30 million dollars and we'll get investors. And then what happens, like Core Scientific, I think it was, they had a multi-million-dollar facility, I believe it was Core Scientific, and they lost everything. And I had a client actually who's now buying more ASICs. He had a company, I'm not going to say who for his privacy, but he had a company steal $300,000 worth of ASICs from him. They never even plugged them in, and they shipped them to Siberia somewhere, like
What?
some remote location, because they don't read the fine print. Like, listen, I FaceTime my clients on my iPhone when they want to see their rigs. Like
Mhm.
transparency and trust is key. And the hosting service right now has got a bad rap from these bad
Mhm.
companies that are just money hungry and they got to pay their bills. Well, here's the beautiful thing. If Dave says to me, he's got an ASIC, right? And Dave goes, hey man, listen, it's been a hard month. I can't pay this month. What do I do? I turn your rig off. Okay. I put it aside. There's a $25 month storage fee gets put aside, and it won't turn on until Dave can pay the bill. When Dave pays the bill and he's communicating with me, I'll go ahead and I'll put it back on and restart the cycle over again. You know what
With
I'm
my
saying?
power rate, I think you would end up sending me the rigs and
Yeah,
because
right.
I'd host for you.
Right.
I got
Yeah.
agricultural power rates, so I'm paying like 3 to 4 cents Canadian per kilowatt hour.
Nuts. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that rate is amazing. As we
And
get
I got two 800 amp transformers on my property, like on my front lawn, because I'm a farm.
yep.
So yeah, it's kind of awesome. And there's other bonuses too. Like I don't know if you ever looked into like managed wetland grants and stuff. You can like write off all your property taxes and stuff if you cut the grass around a patch of like land that you just run a hose in for a
Right.
couple hours a week. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Akiba, what you're looking at, did I pronounce your name right? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's correct.
What
Or
what
Liam.
what you're looking at on the website is
This bit.
we're a blockchain driven data center that also does hosting. So eventually with our new facility that we have now, it's an old AT&T switch station, and we got it
That's
working for
kind of
mining.
cool.
Yeah, it is. It's
Mm.
pretty cool. It's actually EMP resistant, which is actually a pretty cool thing to say.
So it's got like a cement wall with like a metal plate in the middle of it.
Yes, it's 20
Yeah.
inches thick. It's ridiculous. It's complete overkill for what we need. But this is going to be a data center for our company, which is going to Terra eventually will have a parent company called Terra Technologies, and that's going to move in. This is going to be full data center. The mining we're actually working out now to going to a really cheap place in the United States where the electric is significantly cheaper and will be very attractive, and we'll have the same trust and quality and services that we have now. So we're just kind of trying to get in the door, build up the reputation, get everybody in, and then once the new facility is done, the ASIC hosting facility is done, man, we're talking about the prices that you're talking about, Dave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
the goal.
one suggestion I made, I'd like to make is throw up like a live webcam feed for your customers, so like they can
We
just
did
like
consider that. Yep.
see stuff running, and that like honestly has sold me at least 4 rentals that I can think of right off the top. So
Yep.
because I do a little bit of hosting as well, just not
Okay.
much because there's not many people around here that want me to. I
Right.
think Red Fox is actually going to be sending me a couple dozen cards, like 30 or something, for me to host for them.
Nice. Yeah, no, there's we've talked about that. Right now the data center floor is just completely a mess. And because
Mhm.
we're still deploying and we're still getting things up, and Lumen actually is our ISP. They have to come in, light our fiber lines, and that they told us 90 business days from early December when we organized them. So, but they're actually moving pretty quick because I was able to find the plans that were when the building was made and send it to them so they know where all the lines coming into the building are. So thank God, because that would have delayed us a long time. But yeah,
Mhm.
this is going to be full data center. We have servers, cloud. It'll be cloud infrastructure. It'll be nodes. It'll be just full on data
Gonna
center.
be having any like game server hosting and stuff
We
like that?
actually
So like 7 days to die or whatever if you want to host a game.
we actually have a guy that's sending us 3 Minecraft servers, pretty big Minecraft
Nice.
servers already. He's already paid the deposit for the colos, and we're going to plug him in. We also have another client that wants to send us a bunch of servers for his company. And I'm not going to mention other names that are in the works because they're
No
big
worries.
companies, but I'm praying to God that we get them because that would be awesome, and then we can really move the mining to a cheaper side of the country.
I'm assuming you're going to be getting 100 gigabit or 100 gigabit lines put in, or
Right
multiple
now.
100 gigabit lines.
So right now we're waiting for Lumen to light our first 100 gigabit line coming in,
Nice.
protected wave, which means that it sources from 2 locations, and then we're going to eventually have the second one come in, but we have to scale. You know what I mean? We have to kind of grow and get that second. Once the first one's in there, guys, the second one is a lot easier to run. It'll take weeks to get here, not
Yeah.
months.
Now, are you going to have like UPDs and stuff, like big power reserves for your servers in case power shuts off, or generators, or
So funny you asked me that because I think we mentioned that on the live stream. The landlord is actually going to sell the old 250 kilowatt one that's in there, and he's going to give us the money to purchase a new one and put it outside. And that is solely going to be for servers only. Unfortunately, with mining, I can't afford to spend $1 million on a 500, 600 kilowatt generator and back up the entire facility like I would love to do in the future. Yeah, but instead we're going to back up all servers and nodes and the network so it stays up. I mean, listen, guys, Florida's infrastructure for natural disasters like hurricanes is very, very good. The last few hurricanes, I never lost power. Nothing ever went out. And I powered down my whole facility out of safety because I was in a different type of warehouse. This place is built This place was built for like the war with like Soviet Russia. This place, like, it's insane. It was built for the Cold War. It's a complete bunker, and all the lines are underground. So,
If you ever want to talk about some ideas for power and so forth, let me know.
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
We're actually looking at maybe offsetting some of the power costs with solar, because we have a lot of land behind us, and our landlord is really cool. And if we're looking to do that,
If you do
slowly,
that,
but
honestly, if you want to do it on the cheap, go look at older solar, like already established solar places, because they've all been updating their 220 watt and 310 watt panels, and they've been updating them to the 410 watt panels, so you can get those 220s or the 310s for free. Like,
yeah,
I'm
no,
not even, because it costs them $15 per panel to recycle them.
oh
That's
wow,
what it
yeah,
costs the company. So they will just give them to you for free. You show up there with a box truck and you fill the bitch and we'll drive away.
yeah. It's not a bad idea at all. I should really look into that. That's
Like, it's facts. Like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of was the one who was telling Chomp to go check out server racks on Kijiji and shit, right? Well,
right.
Craigslist. And then that's when you found all those server racks and stuff. Yeah.
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 We found that on
Yeah.
Facebook.
And then there was that dude that's jacked your server racks from you. Yo,
Dude,
that was
I was
hilarious.
so pissed.
Dude, I laughed so hard. I haven't power laughed like that. Like, I mean, there was goo coming out my nose. I was laughing so hard at how hard you were raging. It was
Oh my
the
god!
funniest
Because I
shit.
told the guy that was selling them or giving them away, because the owner died. I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we'll be there tomorrow. We got 2 box trucks. We're coming." And I get there, and this guy loading all the nice stuff in the back of his truck. I'm like, "Yo, what? I lost it." I like, "Yo, give me some of those off the truck." Like, my GPU riser was like, "All right, calm down." I'm like, "No, man. Like, he holds their word."
Yeah, Honor died. I don't know if you were notified, but Honor kind of died a while ago, man.
It's ridiculous, man. So,
Well, with that, what advice would you give, and what mistakes do you see people getting into mining make, or mistakes that you've made that you've learned from?
when I started as a crypto miner, I'm stubborn. So I do things my way and say, "Oh, well, no, I want to buy the best of this." Like, King was laughing at me because all my mining boards that I bought when I first started mining, I didn't know much about it. They're all i5s and i7s. And it was a complete waste of money. Which is like, I'm serious. And King's laughing at me because he's like, "Dude, what the hell did you buy these for? These are like 10th, 11th gen, 12th gen, CPUs. A waste of money. Why'd you do that?" I said, "I didn't know what I was doing. I learned the hard way." Instead of like going to listen to people and ask the right questions, I just said, "Nah, man, I'm going to buy the best motherboard. I'm going to buy the best CPU. Here's my
Oh man, I got some scalp bag deals that are mining right now that you would just be like, what the hell is going on? Like AIO coolers on a GPU miner that's not CPU mining, that's got like an 11900 KF in it. It's like,
yeah, it's
what?
complete overkill. Yeah, it's complete overkill. Overkill should be my middle name. So,
Well, I'm glad you switched professions if that should be your middle name. I'm just
yeah, right. Yeah. So my advice to a new miner, anybody that wants to get into mining, is, man, listen to the guys who've made the mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, I did a video on this on my channel a while ago where I talked about, like, should you get into crypto mining and what to expect, stuff like that. And, I'll be honest with you guys. I probably spent upwards of like $60,000-$70,000 just on useless shit. I'm just being honest. My farm was huge.
Now, were you running off of like a credit, or were you running off of like the money that you had already saved from like your previous profession?
That was
Like, because
that
like
was
9 gigahash or 8 gigahash of hardware, like you're talking $1
massive.
million almost. Right?
No, I spent probably close to
750. Like, I guess
no,
you're in America. I'm in Canada, so like 5 cents.
I spent a total of nearly 200,000 total on equipment since I.
That's not bad at all, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I ended up getting saved by a few people, and I ended up saving a lot of money in a lot of different ways. I spent a lot of money because I wanted. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it big. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just going to plug into GPUs and do it. That's just not my thing. I spent a lot of money, but out of that 200 grand, 60 to 70 went to just a bunch of mistakes. So I paid for the college education that I never went for.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how I kind of looked at it. You paid for the
Hmm.
education, and that's it. And what I should have did was I should have just listened to people that have already been established, and I didn't. I just was like, no, I want to do it this way. And so my best advice is don't be stubborn, humble yourself. This is a very, very hard industry, and it's a long-term game. If you're in this just to make money overnight, don't do it. It's not what that's not the game. You know what I mean? Don't don't
Support
look
a
at
network.
ROI too much, huh?
Support a network.
Yeah, believe in the
Like,
project that you're
yeah.
that you're supporting. Like a lot of people, I
It
was
gets
mining
you
it.
through the tough times, man. Like it
It does.
really
It
does.
does.
Like
It really
like
does.
when you're making like cents on a dollar for the hydro that you're putting into something and you're doing it because you believe in the project.
Right.
It's like that'll get you through some dark times, man.
So at our facility now, we're setting up. We're going to set up a Bitcoin node and a Lightning node.
Nice.
You don't make any money
Hey,
on that,
hey Akiba, show him your lightning node.
really.
Yeah, that's his Bitcoin
A
lightning
little-
node.
Really?
100%.
That's
That's
what
Yeah,
how
man.
I spent my morning was setting up my first ever Bitcoin node.
Really. Yeah. I have. We have plans to set that up, but you don't make money on that. There's not a lot of, and if there is, it's very minimal. And
Hosting
and I'm
flux
doing
nodes, that's where the money's at right now. Not gonna lie.
Flux
Flux.
node. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the
Flux node, yeah.
what is it? The Nimbus one, the 30K flux node.
But you know,
Stratus, that one,
you
yeah.
know
3,000.
what?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is something that other hosting facilities do, but if you set up a node, you can also then, what I think would be cool, offer that to your clients.
Already on
So
it.
that
And
Yeah.
have it so your
So
people can mine to your nodes.
So I'll let you guys in on some secrets that I'm probably going to get yelled at for telling. The Bitcoin node that we're setting up is our customers will be able to mine straight to that, and the ping will be in the 1 to 2.
Yeah, you're
milliseconds.
adding a stratum, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're adding a stratum. So we're going to set that up in the future. Now, somebody asked me last night on our live stream for Terra Hash Tuesday with me and the Mining King that are we going to set up pools? Okay, so we're on step 27. That's like step 148, right? So
Mhm.
yes, we're gonna go full bore with this. We have and the beautiful thing about it, and I tell my clients, and I get some hard questions. And one of the hard questions I got was, "Hey man, listen, I'm gonna send you all my stuff. Has Terra taken out any loans? Does your company have anything leveraged against it that if you don't pay, you're gonna lose everything?" The answer is no. All our money is in house. So we pulled together. We don't have any credit. We don't even have a credit card for the company yet. Like
No
everything we
VCs,
have is in
baby.
cash. So yeah, everything we have is in cash. We're not borrowing money. All our investments are from within the core owners, which are me, the Mining King, GPU Risers, and Yeti has a small percentage for doing a lot of the networking stuff. He does a lot of stuff remotely too. So Yeti has a small percentage, and he's also an owner and a board member as well. So we're all self-funded. Like recently we just needed a brand new AC system, right? Well, me, King, all of us together we put our money in and we bought it, right? Because we're building
Once you have the nodes and your stratums set up for your customers, that would be a big selling point if
of
you
course.
didn't make it a public pool and you just offered that service to your customers, because
So
like you're talking a latency of like
1 to 2
fractions of a
milliseconds.
milliseconds, fractions. If you're
Yeah,
fibering across the network, like if the
Yeah.
whole network's done through fiber, like the glass, you're talking like fractions of a millisecond.
Yep. That's and Yeti was telling me, minimum the worst case 1 to 2 milliseconds, being that it's obviously in the same building. That's something that I definitely want to offer. It's just like I said, step 148. I'm at step 27.
But it'd be
Yeah.
nice, like, for people to be able to connect their like Bitcoin wallets to their node, where their mining machines are as well,
We'll
so
have
they know
VM.
that they're self-sovereign completely. Given that
Mhm.
they're giving some of the sovereignty away by hosting the hardware elsewhere, like by then being able to still have more connections to that facility,
Right.
I think makes sense.
Our facility was designed to be a data center, so it's a bunker. There's no windows. There's only 2 entry points in the whole building. It's got a fence, a guard gate around it. I mean, the high security of this place is like,
There's only 2 entry points. Your previous profession showing, but
yeah, right, yeah, right. So
yeah,
always
that's
look for an
awesome.
exit when you walk
I
in
love
somewhere.
it.
So
Yo, dude, stop, man. You're describing my life. Don't sit with your back to the crowd. Yo, trust me, man. I grew up in the hood, man. The hood is, yeah, you learned that.
yeah, no.
Straight.
So the facility is very safe. And I had a lot of people ask us like, what are our network security? And I'm like, well, if I tell you, then it's not really safe. All I know is good luck. So
NordVPN.
yeah, right. Yeah,
insert sponsorship plug here.
yeah. I wish. Yeah, give me a sponsorship, man. We could use that anyway.
Sorry.
But anyway, but it's very, very secure. And a company like GPU Risers, which both of you I'm sure know, me and Mike are very close, and we're partners in this as well. And like I said, along with King and Yeti, and Mike's not going to put his entire company name on the line if we weren't really doing what we were doing. I mean, he's built such a reputable company. I mean, he's probably the #1 GPU accessory supplier for mining in the world. I mean, even now, like I see his facility is coming to our facility because we're not merging, but it's a partnership. And I see the orders going out, and he's still, even in the bear market, he's still pushing orders out. So it's like, I mean, obviously they slowed down, but just to tell you the reputation that he's got. And and he said this, to a few people. He's like, listen, like, I built this whole company. Why would I risk it if I didn't think we were going to do the right thing? You know what I mean? So it's,
Have
when you
you
put it in that perspective, it's like, oh, okay.
if you
What I
end up
mean?
having any space in the long run, have you ever thought about doing something like the thermoplastics or something like that to do like just like 3D printing type of things, like
So
to make little like I
it's
don't know, holders for your ASICs or
it's never
fan
really,
mounts and stuff like Chomp does.
yeah, so it's never really crossed the mind. That's probably not what we're going to enter. If I do get into that some sort of that business, I would probably just subcontract it to Chump and give him the money for it. I owe that guy a lot. I do. I owe that guy a lot. He helped me build Hawk crypto mining. He put me into Misfits. He introduced me to all these people. And I mean, without Chump Change, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys, because it's just what it is. I give him credit. He
Yeah,
took it.
he's one of my best friends. I
Yeah,
love
he
the
is.
guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a really good dude, and we're really close. And I owe him a lot to this. And I told him, when we get big and everything, you're gonna come with me, and that's just what's gonna happen. Like, and he's a part of this. He's a part of Terra just as much as the rest of the core partners are. Him, Red Panda, New England Crypto. I mean, you saw all the banners, right? Did you guys see all the banners that we had laid up there? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, dude.
it's a community oriented data. Everybody's got a piece in it. The veteran miner, everybody's got a piece of what we're doing and is a part of what we're doing and will benefit from what we are doing. And they understand it's a business, but like the
Yeah,
veteran miner,
Veterans got those sick cables, right?
yeah, he does. He makes
Yeah,
very,
like
very good
really, really
cables.
sick, like PCIe cables and stuff,
Yep.
like custom
High
colored
quality.
sheathing and stuff, like good
Yeah.
quality.
He makes them by
Yeah,
hand. It's like high quality cables, man. If you need high
yeah,
quality cables, theveteranminer.com. It's great. And we use him now. GPU Risers uses his cables now when he gives the I believe he's doing it now with the R8 cases. I'm not 100% on that, but he's got the R8 server cases. And
yeah. I'm hoping to get a set for the X12, to be honest with you, because like I'm sorry, like Octominer, you guys need to include something a little bit better than those dainty ass cables with that X12. Like I'm talking, like I got 4,800 watts of power in that X12, and it's like these dainty little cables. It's like, man, like yeah, it's
somebody
like,
told me that they saw a 20 AWG in there, and I was like, oh,
man, I'm not kidding, dude. Like I was gonna say about 18 tops, maybe like they're not 16s, but they should be, in my opinion, for something that has like that kind of wattage, it should be
16 or
significantly
lower.
more. Like
Yeah.
I'd say 14, honestly. Like if you're doing something that's going to be a constant draw or something that'll be pulsing the power, like if you're doing multi-coin mining, it can pulse your power quite a bit and burn out your connectors.
Right.
So, like,
I
yeah, I've been
agree. I agree. I've had, ooh, man, I've had some close calls, man. I've had power supplies go up. I had when I first started, I had a splitter that from Amazon that completely caught fire. I was standing right next to the rig when it happened. You got to be careful. Like I made the stupid mistake of powering the riser from one power supply and powering the GPU from another. And what's funny is I actually saw a video on Seb Heslow, because Seb Heslow did the same thing by mistake, obviously, when he started.
As long as they're all triggered by the motherboard, it's fine. But if it's not, then it's not okay. Not okay.
I had that same problem when I was setting my first rig up.
Right.
Like, how can I do this? I remember looking up how to do it, and I was like, okay, it's possible, but no.
Yeah, I ran home and disconnected everything and redid it. I spent like 6 hours doing it because I had at that time I had like 3 or 4 gigahash in the garage. So you could see a lot of my early videos. Like I had a lot of it, like the way I had it set up and all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, it's we live and we learn, and with all the knowledge that we have, we're gonna pass that on as on a customer service level. I mean, listen, when you send me your stuff, you're sending it to a miner. Like we know we're all crypto miners. Yeti is so good at overclocking. I don't even know how he gets these cards low wattage and keeps the hash rate high. Like he just figures it out. With AMD cards, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, so, that's my bag right now. I've got a couple 6800s that are hitting like almost 60 mega hash on Nexa. Usually they're about 35 for 120 watts, and yeah, I'm reaching that at about 145. It's an art.
Yeah,
like a touchy thing.
It is. I mean, I thought it was when I first started. I'm like, I'm going to plug these things up and I'm going to make so much money. What's funny is when I first started, the first video I watched was from Seb Heslow, and it was about flux mining. And I actually was mining flux when I first started. And then I switched to Ethereum, obviously, because it was way more profitable. And then, yeah. So a lot of people you can't get hung up in the profitability thing either. You have to understand that everybody gets focused on ROI. Right. And I just want to touch on this real quick, Akiva. Everybody gets
perfect. The next question was actually going to be around this. So perfect.
Was it really? Yeah. So everybody gets held up on ROI. And you can't look at ROI, because when I went to work and I was a police officer, I still am, and I've been a cop for 8 years now. I need the boots to go to work. I can't work without the boots, can't work without my utility belt, my gun, my radio, my cuffs, my everything. So if you want to be a crypto miner, you need this stuff to do it. There's no, I'm not going to ROI my boots at work that I had to pay for. I'm not going to ROI a lot of the gear I had to buy for work. It doesn't work that way. So if you're going to be a crypto miner, get out of the ROI argument and understand that you're purchasing, unlike the boots and the stuff that I have for my job, you're purchasing an asset, and it could appreciate or depreciate over time, depending on market conditions. So
one thing that helped me get across that to a lot of people was, I've heard, I'm sure you've heard, I'm sure Akiba's heard, oh, why would you buy GPUs? Why would you buy GPUs? Why wouldn't you just buy the coin? Okay. Because my coins don't change the amount when I just buy coins. Say I buy 10 Bitcoin. I have those 10 Bitcoin until I have 10 Bitcoin. Like, it's never going to gain Bitcoin. It's never going to lose Bitcoin, but it's not going to gain any either. I'm all about investing in something that produces something in the long run. And to do that, like, especially GPU mining wise, it's a lot easier to justify. Like with Chump, for instance, what got him hooked was he built his first gaming computer, and he never had a PC. Like, he never had a PC.
Yeah, I know.
And he built his first gaming computer, and then he realized that he could make like $12 or whatever a day at the time on Ethereum mining with his 3090. So then he did that, and then bought another 3090 to put in the same PC, and they're still in the same PC right now.
Right.
And he mined it with that, and that's what got him hooked.
Yeah.
I think that now, because the ASICs are so cheap, that it's almost worth recommending to people to get an ASIC, because even in the next bull run, they're going to go up. Like, look at the S9s, like the S9i or whatever. I saw those things going in the peak of the bull run for like $1,400. And it's like, before that bull run, you could pick them up for $25 or scrap metal value. Like, nobody wanted them.
I mean, that's the interesting thing that I wanted to touch on, in that you don't really think about the hardware going up and down when I mean, ultimately, You have to think about return on investment to a degree. I get what you're saying about you investing in something.
You do. You have to make a
but
calculated decision.
you can't put $10 million in to make £5 a month. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's
Right.
not going to happen.
course.
But what I think you are correct, and it's really interesting, is people miss out in that the hardware you're acquiring, as you say, is an asset and therefore can appreciate. So
Right.
you're completely right. At the moment, there's a lot
and you
of
can
Bitcoin ASICs that you can't mine with and be profitable.
Well,
But
that's the
if
thing with
Bitcoin
ASICs,
doubled in
right?
price tomorrow, they
Right.
will
with
be.
taxes in the US, I know that you can take the value of each
Hardware.
electronic hardware device
Mhm.
every year, it depreciates by 25%.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
after
you can
4
write it off.
years,
Right.
it's like you're writing that off continually.
So ASICs, in particular, Bitcoin ASICs, in my opinion, are the most risky ASIC to get into. Hey, there you go.
Mhm.
Don't break
Like
it.
power all risers, right?
Yeah, right. Bitcoin ASICs, in my opinion, are if you're going to invest in ASICs, they're probably the most risky, and here's why: they constantly evolve. Okay,
Mhm.
and so it's very hard. It's very hard because I listen. I know people that are still running S9s, and repurpose them, and they've sold them into these block eruptors and all this other stuff, right? I mean,
Well,
is it
script
still
mining is still script mining, right? Like there's a bunch of other script coins besides Bitcoin,
right?
right? And you can utilize the miners for other coins. Like I know that if you take an S9 and you repurpose it to mine, say, sugar chain, that you can mine up to 100,000 hash off that device. Whereas like my 11700 KF that I have going balls to the wall on sugar only gets me like 1400.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like there are
It just depends.
purposes to use it. You just have to be willing to spec mine at a loss.
I just had a client, right? Exactly. I just had a client send me 4 L3 pluses, and I'm like, "Here's an old machine, right?" And I'm
You can
thinking,
update them with the plus firmware, and you
we are,
actually get like an extra 90 hash or 90 hash, I think, or something out of it.
right?
It increases the efficiency exponentially.
We are going to put LPM on him too for him. We're
Nice.
going to do all we do that. We're so speaking of which, just to touch on it, we're a full service data center. Our prices are our prices, but we give you 100% full service. We help with RMA and repair if you need it, servicing, cleaning, and prolonging the life of equipment. With that being said, he's sending me.
Sorry, to what like degree? Like I know there has to be a point, like say someone has like 50 of the not best A6 out there that you guys are hosting, and then all of a sudden,
Um,
like 30 fans go down in this like 1 week. You got 30
well,
fans that you got to replace at a cost of like $15 a fan. Like that's
so there's
quite
a
a hit for the
company.
business, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a company out of Miami that we're going to contract to do ASIC repair where they drive to us. What I mean? I
That's
tell
kind
them
of
what the
cool.
problem is. Yeah. And they do it on a call to call basis. There's like, I don't need a retainer or anything with them, something, of that sort. But if there's a massive failure and it's the client's rigs that happen, I'll do my best to get them up and running as best I can. I'm limited, right? I can only do so much for everybody. But
Yeah, I was just wondering if you had a parameter set for that. That's all I was
yeah, I
wondering.
mean, it's circumstantial. Hey man, like a few of my fans went out. Do you have any spare ASIC fans? Sure, no problem. We'll just put them in and we'll see what it costs. If it costs us anything, we'll let you know. If not, it's something we can spare, we'll spare it. You know what I mean? Like we're all in this together. Like it's more when you come to Terra, you're at a partnership. You're not like, hey, I'm hiring you to do something. We're kind of partnered because I assume the risk with you. So when I say like, hey, all I need is $100 deposit and I'll just bill you every month. Well, if you run your rig for a month and you don't pay the bill, I'm out the money. So when people say, oh, what's the risk for you? Well, there you go. I'm not asking you to prepay electric. I'm not asking for any of that. I'm just saying, here's an invoice. If you don't pay it, then I still got to pay the electric bill. I turn your rigs off. If you go more than 90 days delinquent, it's forfeited. And that's how that goes. And that's just what we have to do. But we don't want to do that. But there has to be
Oh no,
some.
I was just yeah, of course, man. I'm just asking like the questions of
No,
someone
of
who
course.
would
No, of
if I
course.
was to invest in your business, for instance. You know what I mean? Like that's something I would want to know is like what kind of like to what end would
Right.
you go
No,
above and beyond for your customers,
it
especially if
depends.
you're charging them only power, right? Like
Right.
like
Within
how do
reason.
you guys pay
Within reason.
yourself?
Within
Like
reason.
if you guys are only charging a power fee, like you must be charging more than what you're paying for power in order to pay
Absolutely.
yourselves,
Yeah,
right?
we keep a 4 cent
15
margin.
cents. Okay, so like 15 cents then.
15 cents for GPU right now hosting, and 14 and a half for ASIC. Now everybody's gonna go, "Whoa, that's ridiculously high." Oh, sorry, my dog's barking.
Not if all of those services are included. No, that's
Everything is
ridiculously
included.
cheap. That's
That's what I'm
ridiculously
saying.
cheap. Yeah.
Right, and we're
That's cheaper than
starting
my
that.
power.
Right. And that's the whole idea of what Terra is about. It's like, hey man, we're just not a hosting facility. We're not going to just give you a slot and an Ethernet port. We're going to take care of your units for you. I mean, we have a schedule now where once a month we take each unit down for maybe 5 minutes. We'll spray it out, make sure there's no dust. If we see any corrosion, we'll replace the guards because the S19s aren't really made very well. They get cheap metal on them. And
Yeah, they got that magnesium crap and the metal flakes
yeah.
off the fan guards.
What
Freaking
we
pain in the
actually
butt.
ordered, which was really cool, is I ordered powder coated all black fan guards that don't rust, and we'll swap them out as we go. You know what I mean? And we'll give you like these really cool, like the L7 has like these black fan guards. They're really cool.
You should just replate them gold or something just because
Yeah,
it's
that'd
you.
be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. But that's what we do. So I tell my clients, I'm like, listen, if it's something on our end that we messed up and the machine goes down, we'll replace it. No problem. If it's something on your end where the machine's not it's well taken care of, and it's within reason. Like if you send me a bunch of units, right, and they're completely just like in a terrible condition, I'll try to salvage them for you, but there's only so much we can do. But and I'm not charging anymore for that. Like if you have a card that needs a repadding, buy the pads from GPU Risers separately, send them to me. We'll work out something and I'll get them fixed for you. I mean,
We'll walk across the factory floor. He'll give me the pads to put in your car.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that has to be a separate sale because our company is
Yeah,
only.
of course.
So, but yeah, no, I want to help I want to build that reputation where, man, look, it's like a full service concierge. You send us your stuff. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. You can call me directly if you want. You don't have to wait for customer support emails and all that BS. If you have a problem, hit me up within reason. Unless it's an extreme emergency, don't call me at 3 a.m. But
do you have any promo codes or anything for our viewers?
We're working on getting our affiliate program up right now. But you can visit the site. The first 100, I think it's the first 100 clients we're looking at are going to be legacy clients, and they'll be the first ones to reap the benefits of the cheaper power once everything happens and moves forward. We have to hit 0.5 megawatt. Right now, I got about 50,000 watts mining at the facility, and I have 800 more amps coming in. That's going to add a lot. It's going to add like 150,000. So 200,000 watts, right around there. Because we have 480 and we're stepping it down to 208Y 3-phase. So to kind of stabilize, a lot of data centers now, they use 208. It's a more stable voltage.
Yeah, the last one I was working in was actually 347 volt, but it was a data center built into the back of a chocolate factory. So
oh, really?
there's that. Yeah. Factory power is 347 3-phase.
Really?
Yeah. There's
we have 480 coming in the building with a 2,500 amp transformer outside.
Yeah, there was 15 300 amp transformers in this factory. It was Hershey factory in Smith Falls. Really? I outfitted it for cannabis. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane. We just got a 300 kVA, and we got to purchase another one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to individualize power there and how we're going to do things.
Yeah, break it down into like breakout boards and then step it down from the breakout board. Yeah, it's easier to do that at like the sub panel, like to take it and step it down. If you distribute it at the full power and then step it down at the panel, you're losing a lot less of the amperage going to the machines. You're creating a lot less of a draw on that transformer.
So just to think of it, like we have a couple 400 amp panels already set up, right? If they require, let's just, for example, if they require number 2 wire, then I'm buying number 1 just to keep it the flow constant. You know what I mean? Without any interruptions, because I got to run them.
Oh, like, you're gonna be talking like 1/2-inch cables or more. Like you're gonna be above 0. You're gonna be above 0 aught.
Right. Yeah. Above 0 aught. Right. Yeah. So it's they're big, and we understand. We're making the investment. You know what I mean? We're making the
oxygen-free copper. Make sure you heat shrink all your tubes and use dielectric grease on all connections, all of them, like into the boxes, into all of your breakers. Dielectric grease will save you, especially being in Florida with the humidity. Keep in mind, I grow rooms, right? So high humidity, it's like what I do, right? Like havoc, removing heat and supplying power, two of my best things that I do. So yeah, just some friendly advice.
But before we go, because we're running into 50 minutes here, and I know you've got some, you need to go. Bear market. Let's say that this is just a little bit of a bear market rally. What sort of levels in the sort of the markets would actually start to make you nervous? Because I remember I did an article for, it wasn't Core Scientific. Who was it? I forget which miner it was, but I did an article on one of the miners last year, and they were talking about anything below 16, 17, and they're really struggling with everything that's going on. And obviously, you're not just talking about Bitcoin, but most things follow Bitcoin to a degree.
Right, correct.
I think at about like 9 to 10 grand, I'm shitting my pants. Not gonna lie.
Well, let me be honest with you guys.
I think that's where it's gonna go before it goes up. To be honest,
the whole idea of our data center is diversification. So, majority of our profits don't come from mining; they come from other things: server rentals, cloud infrastructure, nodes, VMs, wallets. I mean, you name it.
We're gonna have some helium miners and stuff. You could use them. You could actually use the network to monitor different rigs, temperature, outputs. You could have that information available.
We actually have our own custom system built in by Yeti. That's built
nice.
into our website. That is actually talking with the Hive devs and stuff, and getting all that stuff. That's been done. As far as bear market conditions, I mean, I guess for Bitcoin, the concern for me is where, like, if it gets completely unprofitable, right? Like where it's just kind of like it's not burning $1 or $2 a day, it's burning $40 a day. You know what I mean, or something like that. Do I think it'll happen? Do I think it can happen? Anything can happen. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't predict markets. It's not my thing. I don't believe prior to the halvening of Bitcoin that anything like that will happen. I do think we'll see a significant drop before it goes up. I think we already hit that drop, in my opinion, not financial advice. But I mean, listen, it's staying steady at 22, 23 grand. And now we have the decision coming out today with the Fed.
Oh man, once it sees 50 points, it's going down, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I think it might have just come out while we're talking because Bitcoin's just jumped.
Yeah. So
2%.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the keep word. Let me see where it's at the moment. Yeah, it's at 23,384. I mean, ETH is up over 1,600 again. I mean, Litecoin's pushing $100. I mean, I just think.
Yeah, we got 25 basis points.
25 basis points. That's a lot lower than we thought it was.
Yeah, because they were talking about 50.
Yeah, exactly. That might be. Yeah. That shows me that what they're doing is working, and they're slowing down the rate, the increase rate. Because now they're kind of backing off the pedal a little bit, because inflation is coming down at a rapid rate, and it really is coming down at a rapid rate. It's amazing how fast it happens.
Still $7 for a freaking loaf of bread up here. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot. But things will correct, and I believe personally that the markets will stabilize, and that's just the way that it works. Listen, the whole crypto market can go under, and then all this was for nothing, right? That's why we built in our system and our facilities to be diversified in what we're doing. That's why this place should be a data center.
And completely, because I think blockchain-based infrastructure is here to stay.
Yes,
I think it's just idiotic to say that it's not. So nodes, like running server infrastructure and cloud infrastructure, utilizing blockchain, I think that's an incredibly smart move alongside mining facilities, like pairing the two together, because it is an ecosystem. I think it's really smart, and I think that's actually a type of diversification that I've not seen before, which is people think, oh, I'm going to diversify by different coins. But I mean, ultimately, it's going to follow Bitcoin mostly. So you're not that diversified in the grand scheme of things. But with the cloud infrastructure stuff, well, yeah, because Bitcoin could go to zero and people carry on using cloud infrastructure.
Right.
People still want to host their 7-day servers.
We already see the implementation of blockchain tech and everything already. I mean, in mailing logistics, and companies like UPS and FedEx who have said that we're going to incorporate the tech because it's light years ahead of what we're using. I mean, even something
Tesla
like
came out, said
Huh?
the same thing. Tesla came out and said the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing
well, he's
with
all
regards
about
to
it. He's
LoRaWAN networks and so forth, with regards to controlling the automated trucks.
right. He's all about it. I mean, Tesla's got the second largest supercomputer in the world, and we're also going to see like the Lightning Network is going to be adopted, and
Mhm.
you know we've already seen Walmart, McDonald's, Starbucks, you know a lot of the like Publix here down here in Florida. They're already getting ready to roll out the Lightning Network. They're gonna this is an industry you're gonna see disappear. You're gonna see credit card transaction companies, processing companies. They're gonna go away. They're gonna go away almost overnight because when you can save all the money from the transaction fees, even if it's 2 to 3% to a big company like Walmart, and that's millions of dollars per year, they're gonna do that. I mean, imagine you swipe a credit card, okay, converts to Bitcoin, uses the network to process. It's one-way street, right? And then it goes to the merchant and gets converted back to USD and goes into your account the next day, just like a standard, you know, batch out system. That's revolutionary, man. I mean, we should have had we could have did this years ago, but again, it's an industry.
We're doing it now with Nexa.
Right. So
I don't know.
to get to get you know that kind of tech out there, that's going to be the first big implementation, I think, of blockchain tech. They're going to use the Bitcoin chain. They're going to use it to start processing credit card transactions. And once they see the success of that with the Lightning Network, it's game over. It's game over.
And small retailers as well, though, like corner shops, what we have in the UK, just your local kind of like 7-Eleven type thing. Like they're all independent pretty much in the UK, and they
Right.
all have to have signs up saying like minimum transaction £5 to use a debit card because it costs
Right.
them like
50 quid.
70 pence every transaction to process it, regardless. Like that goes away with Lightning Network, and they
Right,
get
it
the money
does.
themselves there and then.
It does. It does. It does. And I think it's going to be a great thing. I think.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. After that, we're almost at an hour, so I think let's call it there. Hawk, it's been an absolute pleasure. Dave, you're always
Thanks
a legend.
for coming on, man.
Hawk,
Have a good one,
before you go,
Akiva.
shout out your channels, shout out your socials. What you got going on?
Yeah, Hawk Crypto Mining YouTube channel, Hawk Mining Co on Twitter. Obviously, TerraHosting.io is the big push right now. So if you guys need hosting, you can contact me directly from the website. Every situation is different. If you're in a unique situation, I can work with you. We offer the ASIC sales. We do the cloud infrastructure. Right now, we're just an update. We are waiting for Lumen to light our fiber. We're running off of a different source for mining right now, but the mining operation is up. So you guys have any questions, anybody can hit me up, please. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me for the interview. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a blast, and we ran over. So, Dave, do you want to sign us off?
Man. Thanks for checking in, guys.
Awesome, Dave. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah,